What's up, guys? How's it going? Today I got a quick video for you. I'm going to be going over the best contracts in our league right now. It's going to be a quick hit and list, so I think that we should just dive right in. Let's do it. So, at number 10, the first three picks are kind of speculative a little bit here. I'm going with Casey Mize, or Mize, however you want to say it. 8 years at $1. So I still don't really know how Ryan got this contract. I kind of talked about it a little bit before. Even if he's on our Tommy John I'm worried list, take 3 years away from this contract, you still have the number 1 overall pick for 5 years at $1. So, fantastic contract. I think that Mize, when he pitches, will be great. Moving on. Jesus Luzardo. So 7 years at $2. Little bit less years and more money, but he has just as much clout as Mize has now, and he's a couple steps ahead of him. Not only is he a breakout candidate, but he's pretty darn good, guys. So 7 years and $2. I would rather have Luzardo right now, today, and in the future probably, than Mize as of right now. That could change if Mize goes insane, but until that happens, I'm sticking with Luzardo. Luis Robert. Now, the two guys in front of, or behind Robert, I should say, are riskier because they're pitchers, right? So for me, going with a nice, stable Robert is 6 years, $1. I'd much rather have that. This guy's a stud. You're not going to find Eloy on this list, actually. That's how confident I am that Robert will be better. And at 6 years, this could be similar to a Mike Trout deal in the end, or maybe more like a Mookie Betts deal at the end. Next, we're starting to get into real, actual players that have a lot more MLB experience. Jose Ramirez. Okay, only 2 years, $11.25. That's a high dollar mark. How is this one of the best contracts? Listen, Jose Ramirez is a MVP caliber player. He had one bad year, and it really benefited Country Strong because that was 2019 is when he had that bad year. So Jose Ramirez getting 2 years for $11.25. Honestly, he should be at least in the 16 range every year, and he's not. And we, like I said, major beneficiary of our mistakes this year. Number 6. Now, Pete Alonso, I talked about it before. He had a down year. Best rookie year maybe ever. And that was just 2 years ago. So coming in at 3 years and $3, even if he's only above average, and that's like rock bottom, that's still a good contract for him. You know, Eric Hosmer used to get $4 from a lot of us, and he wasn't anywhere near what Pete Alonso is. So even if he hits the rock bottom floor, this is an amazing contract, and that's the floor. I think he's going to soar, and I think he's going to be easily a top 5 first baseman for all 3 of these years. Next is Manny Machado. He only plays well as a Raider. When Jeff had him, I traded him. He did not play that well. He wasn't even worth $4, honestly, that year. He just wasn't good. But, like I've said, he's back, he's motivated, and he's ready to play. Last year, he almost won the MVP, and if he can continue to stay motivated, $7.44 for Manny Machado's production at third is, you're not going to beat that. I mean, even look at Jose Ramirez making $11.25. They weren't that far off in total points. So, Manny Machado coming in at number 5. Cody Bellinger at 4. This is one of those that you would easily say, oh, that's the best contract a couple of years ago. This guy, obviously, like a top 10 or top 15 hitter in the league, and yeah, he's still number 4. That just alludes to how good these other contracts really are in the top 3. Cody Bellinger, though, 5 years at $1.50. That is hard to top. You're not going to get really much better than that. But there's 3 better than that, so let's get in it. Trevor Bauer. Now, of course, there's 2 of these that you easily expect. You might not have expected Bauer in this position, though. He just went to LA. Great sign for him. Great sign for LA. Just won the Cy Young, so why isn't he higher? I think the 2 players above him are better, and I would rather have their contracts than this one, like crazy enough. But there's also the I got paid factor that I'm not worried about with Bauer, because he's kind of a nut. He's kind of a weird guy, so I'm not too worried about that with him. But if you think about the whole, I just got a 3-year deal. I was just coming off of a free agency. I had to pitch well that year. I won the Cy Young. There's no way he gets any better. Doesn't really need to. But this is an amazing contract that it's not quite Trout, but it's I cannot believe that it worked out this way. Next one, Fernando Tatis Jr., $7 one. I think this is the actual next Trout or Betts contract. You know, these big contracts with small dollar amounts. This is the next one. You could say that there's better players this year on the list at 4, 6, 7, 5, but after this year, I don't see any way that Tatis isn't potentially number 1. I think he's going to be a top 5 hitter for probably 6 out of the 7 years that he's with Country Strong. That's my belief, and take it or leave it, but that's what I'm going with here. Number 1 is obvious to me, is Garrett Cole. 6 years, $220 to Orlando again. Now, one thing, Orlando has Garrett Cole and Trevor Bauer for a combined $550. That's more than Jose Ramirez. That's double, or cut in half, I should say. Manny Machado makes more than both of them combined. Just let that sit in for just a second. All right, you've had your second. Oh my goodness, right? So Garrett Cole comes in at number 1. To me, he has been the best pitcher in baseball for a few years now. It's been up and down, but he's been the most consistent at the top of the boards, and he deserves the recognition. Playing for New York, he's gonna be good again. So this is my top 10 list here. Who do I think is going to be the next Mike Trout deal? Tatis. Do I think that any of these guys who's not on the list, like Eloy, kind of crack the list? Yeah, sure. There's going to be guys from this draft that make it that, could be even better than these guys. Who knows? Dylan Carlson was another one that just missed the list. He's 8 years at like 215 or something like that. He's looking pretty good right now. So this list could dramatically change next year. Very curious what you guys think. So have a good one, y'all, and I hope you enjoyed. Next, I'll probably do a worst contracts. We'll see how it goes. Thanks, guys.